Good night, good night. So, I wanted to do a video about planning. There'll be another one following this one, uh, talking more about planning out my flow of cash and how I'm doing that or what I'm focusing on. It'll probably be pretty short in 2 seconds. Um, but this one, we're going to talk about planning my daily schedule. I believe that to achieve some type of success, to achieve some form of success, requires consistency in certain areas. Also, it requires a lot of dedication, discipline, and it requires you to change who you are currently. So, if you're a person that feels that you're not getting the most out of your day, that you're just working, 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 and doing nothing else, if you're a person that feels that there should be something else that you should be doing, or if there's a goal that you want to attain in terms of maybe weight loss, a monetary goal of some sort, maybe investments or to do more and put more towards your investing. But then you have to break these things down into smaller pieces. So, for instance, for myself, for weight loss, I said in a previous video, I went crazy for a week and ate pints of ice cream, pizza, and steaks, and all this other stuff. But before that, I was doing very well. The whole injury to my back was a great excuse to just say screw it and let's go ahead and eat a whole bunch of crap. So I'm off that right now, but what I'm doing to change that or to get back on task here is a bit of a mini detox. So, focusing on, or I've bought a juicer and I'm just making my own little juice. You know, nothing, no smoothie or anything like that, but an actual juice. Trying out recipes and things like that. But I'm doing that in an overall goal of achieving some form of weight loss or some form of significant weight loss. It was pretty cool hearing Dollar Will. He actually said to me after the last interview that, "Hey man, brother, you look you losing some weight." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I've been really working on it." So I'm gonna try and get back on. Oh, sorry, I'm going to get back on that, and I'm gonna try and talk to you about what I do during my day. So first off, with this daily schedule, and again, this is just a piece of the overall goal that you need to actually put in place for yourself to help you make changes in your life. But this is a daily schedule. In it, I have a blurb that says, "This is a guideline. Nothing is set in stone. Humans are not perfect, and neither is your day. Things happen. Just remember that small incremental changes are what make you reach your goal." And that's kind of the gist of it. I mean, if you don't wake up on time, okay, put time in your day to make up for something that you may have missed. Or just say, "Hey, listen, I don't feel like doing that today. It's okay." Don't be too hard on yourself. For some people, that works. For some people, that's disastrous and it's a slippery slope. So, do with it what you will, or do what you will with that information, and know yourself. That's the biggest thing with any of this stuff. Knowing yourself, knowing those gotchas about yourself, where you say, "Hey, listen, I screw up on this. I can't tell myself this, or this will happen." Know yourself, and it'll help you better plan your day. So, first, 6:15, wake up. I'm not gonna lie. I did this for a little while. That shit sucks. Damn it, that's really early. But we've been having bad weather, so that's been an excuse for me. And then also with my back, I've been trying to get more rest. But when I made this, I was following it. So now I'm doing more in terms of I'm getting back into that right now. So my back is a lot better. I don't have that excuse. I did my binge week and everything like that. So I've been working with this schedule and working within it. And some things I miss, and some things I stick with. Um, Sadly, I can't do the workout as much, so I've been focusing on walking and things like that. And that actually has been I have been doing fairly well with that in terms of just getting back into everything, and then doing things like air squats. Also, I did buy some workout equipment so that I'll be getting back into the workouts, but it won't be with heavy weights. It'll just be with resistance bands, and using a weighted vest to help intensify my walks. I'm not really up to running yet, and the weighted vest should help intensify it a little bit. I got an 80-pound weight vest, so hopefully that will help. But going through this is something, if everything works out, and actually this worked out pretty well, and I felt pretty good for the couple days that I was doing this. So wake up, and at 6:15, and then start getting into Upwork hunting. So looking at Upwork on a daily basis and trying to find jobs, put out proposals. I have a goal of one proposal a day, and in some cases I'll do maybe two proposals depending on when I check the site. In some cases, in some cases for Upwork, it's pretty easy. When you have your core competency and what jobs you're looking for. I'm a back-end developer. I like making APIs. I like transmitting data, doing data aggregation and things like that, and presenting that data to via an API to an end user or a consumer of that API. So I know what jobs I want to do. I know what jobs that I like. I don't try to go for everything. That's just something I learned in an article that I was reading about starting Upwork proposals, and I think I've linked that previously, but I'll link that in this video as well. But it says focus on what you do. Don't try and do everything. Be an expert at what you do, and I think that was pretty good, and it's very good information because you could apply for so many jobs and maybe you'll get some. Come to find out, you're not really good at it. So think about that, focusing, and then 7 to 8 a.m. go walking. So I can get, probably in that period of time, I can get about a 2 mile or more walk in. I have an area in there for weight training. So when I get back into weights, but for now it'll be resistance bands. And I actually added a new little piece to my gym today. Today is March 7th when I'm making this video. I try to make these videos en masse, and that's how I can keep to a certain schedule. I'm sure you've noticed it because of the same clothes. But yeah, so I actually added a tractor tire. I moved it from the backyard, and I'm going to go ahead and clean it up. Drilled some holes in it so it doesn't hold water and it drains out. So yeah, it'll be fun once I get back, and once my back is good enough and I can actually start wielding my sledgehammer and using that as a bit of cardio or high intensity workout. But weight training. After that, relax before work. Then go straight into work. As you can see here, I alternate my days for my weight training. So I don't try and do weight training every day or anything like that. And especially with my back, trying to get back into allowing it to heal while still working and stretching it out. I won't be doing too much of that. But eventually, yeah, I'd like to do weight training every day. And it doesn't always have to be at this exact time. Again, this is a guideline. This is not something that has to be strict, but it's not strict in when you do certain things, but it's in strict that you do those things that will actually help you reach your goal. After that, pretty much alternates from there, and then it gets into the weekends, weight training, so Saturday or Sunday for now. And then of course be sure to take rest days. If you want to take a cheat day, my cheat day for me normally, instead of my crazy cheat week, which was so good. I love sugar. But if anything, what you do is like my cheat days is I actually eat meat. I cut out meat throughout the week. So 5 days a week, I'll eat mostly grains, and the only other thing that I eat that's close to being meat is shrimp. I love seafood. I love shrimp. There's a crab place here in town that's really good, and I really like that place. So maybe I'll go out there and eat, but I'll do that like once a week. And I eat like red meat once a week, and then maybe that, the crabs and everything like that, I might eat that during the week if I feel for it. Alright, and then after that, relax and catch up. So I have these points in here. So during the work day, I relax or walk away from the computer, look outside, look at the birds, look at the lake, and it's like, okay, cool, get my mind back into what I'm trying to do. I'm working with ClickUp and building some functions for it. I might actually put that out on my GitHub as some boilerplate code, some functions to actually help you work with ClickUp and how to work with the ClickUp API. But that's not for release yet. I'm actually still working on that and getting it right to where I have a dynamic form that actually, in one click, it does about 5 different actions, creates Zendesk tickets, works with the ClickUp API, and also sends emails to certain parties. So I've been working on that. But with that amount of code, or with that type of work, I should say, it's not really crazy. But sometimes you just have to step away. Sometimes you have meetings for. I'm also a project manager. I'm an assistant to my manager, so I'm a project manager, and I help out some of the other guys with their projects and trying to push it along or give ideas based off of the experience that I've had in my life, or in my profession and my career as a consultant. So next we go into after work, relax and catch up. That could be a nap. During this work day, yeah, you get an hour break, 15-minute breaks as well. But you can take a nap during this time. Just take an hour out of your day, but also relax and catch up. So that might be relaxing and catch up. That could be like maybe I missed doing Upwork hunting. Maybe I missed walking. I could only get 2 laps because I woke up late or didn't want to wake up. I could only get a couple minutes of weight training, things like that. But relax and catch up, maybe even do some cooking or something like that, what have you. And then I get into Upwork hunting. So what I want for this time is, once I have that Upwork job and I'm getting a whole bunch of different proposals, I'm landing some jobs and things like that. I want to take this time to work on those projects. I want this to be a side hustle for me. As I said, I've talked about doing Uber in my area. I'm going to have to do more advertising because nobody uses it. I check the app every so often just to see if there's cars available, and there's no cars available, especially in this town where, it could really actually benefit from doing that. So I'm actually going to start investigating a little bit more about doing some advertising in the area, or finding ways to do some advertising in the area that Uber is available. So that'll be something I'm working on. Maybe some hanger signs, or I think they call them the H signs, where you can just stick them in the ground, stuff like that in certain places. So cool. That'll be a really cool thing. So next, Upwork hunting, side work, and crypto trading. So again, this time, I might not be doing Upwork. I might be doing some crypto trading. I might be doing some side work. Who knows? I might even get a second job where I don't have to worry about most of this stuff, and I have to just fit this in a even tighter schedule or tighter time frame. We'll see. Then relax and catch up again. Always have times where you can actually relax and settle your mind. Oftentimes, you'll look at all types of gibberish. So, for instance, let me slide this into view. So, for instance, this is something I'm working on for a form. I look at code like this all the time. I have to make all these different functions, and I have to do all these different things to manipulate data, or gather data so that I can actually store it and manipulate and present it later on. So I'm a full stack developer by necessity more than choice. So, and I don't mind it to a certain extent because it's challenging. So, going through this and doing things like putting stuff like this into fields for emails and all types of other stuff. This key is not an API key by any means, so it's not really a big deal. I can change it after this recording, but I probably won't because you guys don't know how it works. I hope. But I have to look at code like that all the time, so you have to take some type of mental breaks. I actually read somewhere where it's kind of funny. It was always funny to me where you walk away from a problem for a couple minutes, and then you come back, and with a quote unquote fresh mind, you're like, oh wow, I can solve this problem. And you write the code. It's like, wow, it was just so simple. I was banging my head against a wall for X, Y, and Z hours, minutes, what have you. And what actually happens is your brain, if anything, your brain is asynchronous. So it thinks about this stuff in the back burner. So if you were thinking about your brain as the event loop in Node.js or something like that, it actually thinks about it, and then when it comes back, it actually has a promise, and then it resolves that promise, and it says, oh, okay, you're ready. Boom, and then puts that information out there. Next you know, you're putting out that code that you took an hour before to write, and it was really just an if statement and you forgot a exclamation point, in terms of your comparison operator or something like that for your conditional for your if statement. So it's like, well, wow, why did that happen? Well, your brain's doing work on the back end, but you have to sometimes allow your brain to do that work in the back end by taking a nap, by getting away from it, by playing video games, watching a YouTube video, watching a series of some sort. But get your mind off of work and relax. Your brain is still working, though. Don't forget it. And then after that, just doing educational stuff. So this I haven't been doing much lately. I've been focusing more on sleep and getting to bed, quote unquote, on time, and staying in bed. Actually, this is why I said that I haven't really been on this, but staying in bed until about 8:15 at least, and then even going through the 8:15 alarm and going to the alarm to wake me up for work. And I've been doing that on purpose. I want my back to heal, and a part of that is rest. Also, a part of that is diet. So I've been eating meat and stuff like that, and doing more drinks and taking in more calories and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll help repair my body. Also, I just like the sugar. But education. So make sure you put some time in your day for education, whether it be even if I make these YouTube videos, I usually try and make them on the weekend. So I'll knock out 3 to 4 videos in a weekend and then schedule them out throughout the week. That's why things just kind of seem, out of place in terms of when I make a report on something or what have you. But I try to actually knock these videos out. At one point, I think I was like 2 to 3 weeks ahead, and I didn't have to make any content for a while. So I try to keep up with that, but I do that in my open time, or do other things around the yard. So today, I walked 3 miles, and then right after that, I went out on the front. There's a street that runs right in my front yard and my lake, and a lot of stuff always goes into the lake, so I always have to clean that up. So sorry. So on Saturdays or even Sundays when I do my walk, or after I do my walk, I'll go and pick up all the trash that I saw during my walk, and make sure I clean up anything that's going on in the yard or what have you, or move some things around or do 1 or 2 things in terms of yard work. The bigger stuff, I have other people do it. I mean, cutting the lawn now, because now spring is coming. Cutting the lawn now is going to be the next thing that I have to worry about and put money towards. Getting the barn taken down, that's all done, and I'll be making a video about that pretty soon. A bit of a montage, if you will, about getting the barn built up and everything. Or sorry, torn down, and then getting the pump house built up. But I keep the weekends open. I don't really do much of anything, There's not much to do around here. So that's why I'm focusing a little bit more on YouTube, focusing more on other skills and upping certain skills, and then also focusing on other ways of making money while I'm actually here. I got 2 internet connections. I'm usually never down ever at all. If anything, I can always drive somewhere else that actually has internet. Or I can say, screw it, I'll just drive back home and take the 6-hour drive and visit my family if there's, if anything, in terms of, if there's nothing that I don't have anything to do, for the most part, I stay inside. But I try to fill this time with things that are actually productive, looking at my charts, looking at YouTube videos about the market, and what other people are thinking that'll help, that I'll take in and then filter through my process and say, hey, I'm gonna go with this guy because they sound smart. I'm sorry I do that, I'm not gonna lie. Or hey, I think this is a pretty nice thesis or thought about something, or theory, or hypothesis, I should say, but I'm gonna do something different, or I'm gonna do a little bit of that and then go off and do something else. But planning is very important. It's necessary in terms of making those small changes, those incremental changes that will allow you to get to your goal. So I will be showing a video or making a video about planning and planning the flow of my money. I'm doing quite a few things to try and make all this happen, but in terms of getting a decent flow, like where money's actually coming in, and then I can actually give you a real example of me actually doing this stuff, kind of like this. I've actually had this in play for a couple weeks now, and what I found is that I would break it, but then it's like, okay, why did I break it? Getting back onto it, not being too strict with it. In some cases, I'll do Upwork hunting on one of my breaks here during work, or if I'm coding too much on a certain thing, or doing form validation or something like that, which is somewhat boring and tedious. Then I'll go ahead and say, hey, listen, screw it. I'm gonna watch a YouTube video, watch Bounty Tank or something like that, or watch any of the other great content creators out there. But yeah, so pretty much, I can go on and on about this, but when it comes to your daily schedule, just be a little bit flexible with yourself. Be honest with yourself, and do things that will actually help. Help you achieve your overall goal and where you want to be in life. Also, I will be putting a link to this in the description, and or into this spreadsheet in the description, and it just goes over a little bit what I was just talking about here in terms of all explanation of everything. Hope this helps. As always, thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. Peace.